funny was that though, what we did?
Yeah.
With the fucking girl in the aisle.
Yeah.
And you had balls too, to fuck with her, say, right in the fucking... Dude, people are going crazy with that video, dude. You know that, right?
Did you send it to my cell phone?
I sent it to you, yeah. Oh. Alright, so... We gotta go now, get our brains back to where it was, okay?
Yep.
So clear our heads, ready?
Alright.
Alright, so... growing up, take us to when you're a little child, okay, with your mom and dad. How was it growing up, and give some details on how it was, like, your whole childhood?
My whole childhood was typical.
Start over.
My whole life was typical growing up. I used to go out to eat with my family, out to the movies, have fun. Used to come home from school. Used to play with my dad. Used to spend quality time with him. Go out to dinner, eat dinner at home, cook meals, spend time with my family, take trips when I could. Typical stuff.
How was your childhood like? Like, did you have, like, when you were a kid, just remember, like, the days when you used to ride bikes in the neighborhoods and stuff?
Yeah. I learned how to ride a bicycle with no training wheels. It was amazing.
Do you remember, like, did you have, like, friends in the neighborhoods that you used to hang out with?
Yes. Right across the street, I had some friends. They accepted me, and we had fun together.
And what about when you were in school? Like, think about, like, for me, you know, when I was in school, I was always an outcast. You know, I used to go to the lunchroom and I would have no one to sit with. And
I was an outcast. I was always bullied and stuff and made fun of. But I had some friends, but they were rare. They were not as abundant.
Well, what type of bullying did you go through?
Well, one time I was, this kid asked for my lunch money. If I didn't give it up, he would have gave me a wedgie and he put me down the toilet and put my face in the toilet if I didn't give him the money.
From that kid doing that, what did that inspire you to do?
To get big and defend myself and get some muscle on me, some beef to defend myself.
No, less animated, but say, because of that, what that kid did, how it affected you.
It got me muscular to get...
But you have to say like, as a result of that kid...
As a result of...
Wait, slow down. Okay, now.
As a result of that kid, I had to get some muscle and get extra big to defend myself.
Why?
Because if I didn't have the muscle, I couldn't defend myself. He would still pick on me.
Did you ever confront him?
Yes.
Explain.
I confronted and said, I'm not giving up the lunch money. If I didn't, he would have put me down the toilet again.
And what ended up happening?
He did it again.
So you never ended up getting back at him?
No.
What other type of bullying did you go through?
People made fun of me, called me Four Eyes because I wore glasses and stuff like that.
If you think back in school, right? Think about the loneliest time when you felt alone at school. Explain that experience.
The loneliest time in school was after recess. I was just always an outcast. At recess, I was always an outcast. I had nobody to hang out with. It was very quiet, very boring. I ate my lunch by myself in a little cubby.
Is what those kids did to you, being teased as a kid, is that what inspired you to get into bodybuilding? If so, explain.
Yes, that's what did get me inspired to get into bodybuilding, to get big muscles and look incredible and say, well, wow, that guy looks incredible. Going across the room, people say, God, that guy looks fucking big. He's muscular and he can defend himself.
Perfect. Okay, now, what was your relationship like with your mother?
Very close, very close. Me and my mom were very close. My mom was a personal trainer, and she got me into fitness, and I started getting into fitness, and that's what inspired me to get into fitness, because my mom was a physical therapist.
All right, now, if you could think, Jason, take your mind back. What's the saddest moment of your entire life?
Losing my father at 16 and a half years old was the most saddest thing in my life.
Take us back to the day, okay, of when you lost your dad. Think deeply. Explain to us the last moments of you and your father.
The last moments of me when my father was downstairs in his hospital bed. He was squeezing my hand, his eyes were rolling back in the head, and he died right there in front of me.
How has it affected your life from there to now?
It's given me a lot of nightmares. I can't sleep. I have trouble sleeping at night because of it. I have a little claustrophobia from it. Traumatic stress disorder it's called.
How much do you miss him?
A lot.
Explain how much you miss him.
I miss him tremendously. I wish he was still here to this day. He'd be very proud of me.
Explain how your dad, you miss your dad so much, but we want to know what kind of person he was.
He was incredible. He was a bodybuilder back in the 70s and the 80s, and he was also in the Navy as a military person in the 60s in Vietnam, and he was also in the construction business, so he was very strong physically and mentally.
All right, now Jason, because you were bullied in school and you defeated the odds, what would your advice to others be who have similar disabilities?
Don't give up. Never give up. Keep striding for your goals. Believe in yourself. And don't let anybody put you down and say you can't accomplish your goals, because you can accomplish your goals. If you work a little extra harder, you can accomplish it. Don't let anybody say you can't do it.
All right, now Jason, I want you to explain to us what you're actually diagnosed with, but I want you to say, start as a kid saying I was born, what were you were born with birth defects, and what were they?
I was born with slight, you can't even see that. I don't even think it's like 1% of autism. I got ADD, I got HAD, I got OCD, dyslexia, Tourette's. Those are all disorders where you have trouble, hyperness, and the OCD is like obsessive compulsive disorder. Things like that. Tourette's where you stutter, stuff like that.
Which one of them is the most stops you from life?
The Tourette's and the dyslexia.
Explain more.
Tourette's is like where you stutter over and over. Dyslexia is where you see things backwards.
And how do they affect you?
They affect me big time.
Explain.
Hard to cope with it and do book work. Very, very annoying. At times the grammar, the punctuation, the reading, the writing, everything, the math, it's all backwards. It's very hard.
And explain the Tourette's.
Tourette's is where you stutter over and over and over again, and you can't stop. You go 1, 2, 3, and you do all these stupid things, and you twitch, and you do all these stupid things.
Okay, now, because of all these disabilities you have, life obviously was hard to cope and deal with things in life. How does it affect your relationship with women? Explain.
It's been hard to find a good woman who understands these problems and cope with it. I've had a few good girls in my life, but they haven't lasted long.
Explain the story. Explain to us who is Mary and the story about her.
Mary is a girl I met online who we fall in love with. We had a long-term relationship for about 6 or 7 months. I was very close with her. We used to talk always on the phone after she got off of school, things like that. I was really close with her. I did love her, and I love her with all my heart still, and I'm still thinking about her, and I still tremendously miss her, and I wish she would come back to me.
How did it end? Why did it end?
It ended because my mom threatened to put a restraining order because of my job. I was over-texting her every day, and I wasn't spending enough time with my family. My mom thought so. She threatened to put a restraining order, and her other parents didn't like that, so they said I couldn't hang around her anymore.
With other relationships, how has your disability caused problems?
It's caused problems finding a good woman and keeping the relationship. It's really, really hard.
Why?
Because they don't understand me. They don't know the pain I'm going through in every day of my life.
And okay, now I want you to explain. Okay, tell us about where you work and how's your job and what you do for your job.
I work at Publix as a grocery store, as a stock in the dairy department, and as a stocker and as a bag boy in the customer service. Yes, at Publix at the grocery store.
How does that job affect every time you have to go to work? How do you feel when you have to go to your job?
I feel bored doing the same shit every day of my life. It's the most boring job, but I do it anyway because I have no choice. And it puts money on the table.
Okay, now, Jason, there was a story, okay, and this is how I first met you, actually. I got sent, like, you jerking off in the bed, the video of the nude video of you jerking off. Like, explain to us the story, how it started.
Well, my nude pictures have been leaked and everything and all the different sorts of things over the years because girls are really guys pretending to be girls and they're fucking around. They send all this information. What's fucked up, it's not nice and it's trolling, it's not the right thing to do. It's mean and malicious.
What did they do, though?
They leaked out the information on the internet because they were guys and they thought it was real cute and funny.
What did your family and your close friends say?
They thought you made a big mistake and it was disgusting,
Let's say, like, my family.
My family thought it was disgusting and I shouldn't have done that.
What did your mom have to say about it?
She was pissed.
Explain the story, like, when she called you.
She called me and says, I found out.
Say, like, my mom.
My mom called me and found out that I leaked a whole bunch of information on the internet and she got pissed and she started screaming and hollering.
How was those leaked pictures? Like, say how embarrassing it was to your life? Like, how did it affect you?
It affected me big time. It was disgusting.
How did it affect you?
Affected me mentally and everything.
Explain why, how?
Why? Because it's
that.
etched in stone. If I try to get a job, it's going to be hard to find. If I try to do anything, it's going to be hard to find because I fucked it up. I have all these leaked information about my nudity on the internet.
There was another time you were on a Instagram Live and they convinced you to take off your clothes.
My Speedos.
Yeah, explain that story.
Well, I was posing one night and showing a show because I'm muscular. I was getting jacked for my show, and they made me take off my Speedos and show my fucking dong.
And why? Explain why you did that.
Because girls egged me on. There were some girls in the chat room egging me on.
And how did you feel after you did that? Explain.
I regret it. I felt disgusted.
So, if you could take them back, would you? And explain.
If I could take them back, yes, I would, but there's nothing I can do about it, and I could explain that it was the most disgusting thing I ever did.
And how do you move forward from there?
What?
How do you move forward from doing that?
Not do it again and not pull shenanigans like that anymore.
Alright, now, I want to know what's the funniest thing that ever happened to you in life?
The funniest thing that ever happened to me in life, where I pretend I did some funny jokes to people and they laughed and they thought it was hilarious, with the Steve Urkel or the Yoda. They thought it was hilarious. Or the Macho Man or the Randy Savage or the Nature Boy Ric Flair makes everybody laugh. It's kind of funny, actually.
Okay, now, Jason, because of YouTube, I want you to discuss how you made it far as you started a clothing line. Explain, like, the clothing line, so how that all came about and how you're making money and how it's helped you.
The clothing line has made me a lot of money. It's made me prosper. I made money off the clothing line 2015 after my Bible show. We decided to come out with the clothing line, me and Andrew and Brad, and I made a ton of money off of it. And off YouTube, I made a ton of money also.
Okay, now, we're going to get something funny out of you now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. Alright, Jason, I want you to dig down deep, okay? The trolls who leaked those pictures, if you could put yourself, could you understand? How do you understand like what they did?
What they did is really fucked up and malicious. It's not the right thing to do. It's not. It's totally wrong.
I'm checking to see if we have anything else. Okay. Do you have any regrets in life? What's your biggest regret in life?
My biggest regret in life? To show those new pictures.
So that is your biggest regret?
Yes.
So if you could take back one thing in your whole entire life?
It would take back those freaking pictures.
Okay. One last thing, alright? I want you to go from the beginning to the end. The day in school. Try to go back deep when you were a kid. The entire story of the bullying situation.
The bullying situation started in the 2nd grade all the way up to the 8th grade. It was terrible, it was horrible, and it was miserable.
Well, give us all the details.
I used to get paid fun of, give me up your lunch money, thrown down the lockers, pushed around, bullied around, punched around, everything.
Do you think it affected you to this day?
Yes.
How?
To be a stronger man and to stick up for myself and build some muscle and defend myself with my guns, my weapons.
Alright, I think we're good, dude.
Good. Hi.